So this week was just north of 6.5 hours at the shop, 637 hours to date, with a forecasted finish date of still October of 2030. So this week is actually pretty hard to stay motivated for. This is nothing but dimpling and deburring this week. To the best of my count and estimation, I think I've got about 800 rivet holes between the two bottom skins for the left and the right wing, excuse me. So it's just a repetitive process, extremely repetitive process of going through and deburring and dimpling each and every piece. This section here is the little bit of skin that you have to basically grind down on the two mating skins where it joins the main rib. If you don't grind those down, you end up with this kind of overburden of material, so they tell you the directions to grind that down so that you make a nice mated surface that ends up being the total thickness of one of the original skins, so that it mates together nicely when you rivet those. So all I did was take a Dremel tool with a sanding disc and then just actually use the circumference of a roll of painter's tape to give myself a nice curve so that those two sections would mate up properly. Actually ended up working out really, really well. So if I have to do it again, I'll use that same new roll of painter's tape as the litmus test to get that ground down properly on both sets. So that's the other wing, that's the right wing, doing the same thing for the grinding. And then the rest of this is just setting up the table for the DRDT2 dimpling tool. I've always thought that the video on this is kind of cool because it looks like I don't move, but the skin itself is moving like crazy, so it's almost like it's stop motion. So just kind of cool, but nothing terribly glorifying or cool or any sort of carpentry tricks or anything like that. This is all just standard issue boring work, so to speak, but it does need to happen so that the plane can be as fast as it's supposed to be. That being said, towards the end of the video, you'll see me doing a fair amount of dimpling on the actual frame components, both the rear spar, the rear, yeah, I guess it is a spar. So getting that dimpled and also getting the ribs dimpled. I intentionally left those components not dimpled when I put everything together many, many months ago. I've noticed that the Clecos have a hard time holding, specifically between the wings and the ribs, simply because that hole gets ever so slightly larger and the Clecos don't have enough grip to actually grab those things together. So I left them undimpled until this point just to make sure I had good contact with the Clecos. Nothing much else this week. More to follow next week.